G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. Season 1, Episode 47, Acclimatisations. This episode will be narrated by Laura ReilyTruth. Previously.
Hello? Is anyone there? I am so glad they both took my ideas on board and added them to their plan. I suppose it is our plan now.
Continues.
Alistair and I let everyone know what is happening, but not one of them will leave without us. They all decide to wait. Even the children refuse to leave until we can accompany them. Alistair and I go for another walk, and I sit on his shoulder. We talk and laugh loudly, making sure we go very close to the little people's colony. We sit facing the other way to them and talk to each other about how we were held captive. Alistair speaks of his clan, and I talk about how I was taken from one facility to another. Now we are talking of our escape, and Alistair is saying a lot of funny stuff, which is genuinely making me laugh. We know that most of the colony are close by listening, wondering if I am one of them, and who or what Alistair is. We are great distractions. While we are just talking, Mal and Lisa are busy collecting flowers and putting them in 4 big baskets. Well, I think they are big. They are on the other side of their colony. Most of the colony are watching us. We keep talking. Alistair keeps saying funny things, and we hear a muffled laugh or two. Still waiting. There are only 2 more of the little people who we need to distract. I begin speaking of my mother, how she was captured near here when she was pregnant with me, and how much she was looking forward to being a mum. I continue talking about my mother and say her name, hoping that some might remember her. But I do not think so. When I say my father's name, that is when the last 2 come over to listen. Many of them know his name, and 3 of them are named after him. That is interesting. It would be wonderful if I had relatives. Well, maybe not so wonderful. They seem to be the ones with thoughts that I would rather not see. As we keep talking, all those who will be coming with us carefully get their things and jump into the baskets, covering themselves with flowers. None of the others notice, and as Mel and Elisa pick up the baskets and leave, I mention my name. That should keep their attention. My father wanted to name me Fiorel, which means little flower, and my mother wanted to shorten my name to Fi, with a double I to make it unique. I keep talking about how my father did not like Fi, and my mother did not like Fiorella, so they decided on Fiorel. When I said Fiorel, I heard a gasp from behind me. It is very interesting what they are thinking. When we know that Mel and Lisa have made it safely back, Alistair lets Gentle Soul know. This is it! The wind tunnel is here! Alistair and I loudly say that we should get back before anyone sees us, and Alistair takes off the opposite way, with me in his hand. I think that in his hand is the only safe place when he runs. He is so fast, and his strides are very long. When we are sure that none of them are following, he runs to everyone who is waiting for us, carefully keeping a distance from the smaller people still in the area. They are looking for the other half of their colony who seemed to disappear. When it is discovered that those little people's belongings are gone, they are all puzzled. Even the little creature pulling the wagon thing is gone. They are thinking that they must have been afraid of the big blue giant, but then discover that the tracks all end at where the humans' baskets of flowers were. Wow. Now they are not happy. The second our friends catch sight of us, Mal and Lisa step into the wind tunnel first, taking the 4 flower baskets with them. Wow, that wind tunnel is huge. I hear Alistair chuckle, and he thinks that it is perfect for him. We are here now, with our townspeople all taking their turns to step through. Many of the small people back at the colony are getting weapons ready to track their missing people down. Oh my goodness, they have got some big people's grenades. What are they going to do, blow them up? How can they even carry them? They are so big. Oh, I see. Using socks as sacks. Have they decided to them? Their own people? Why would they do that? I do not understand people, even my own people. How could I come from these people? Half of them think like the tormentors. I just realized that if we just leave them here, nothing will change. They will likely still spend their days teaching each other how to torment the larger people. I suppose some people get caught up with thinking damaging thoughts no matter what the species. Alistair and I are last, but as Alistair goes through the wind tunnel, I jump off his shoulder. I have an idea. Oh, what happened? Alistair's thoughts are gone. No! What should I do? Should I go through? Or should I wait for them to get here? I know that everyone left behind from the colony are on their way here, even the pregnant woman. They refused to leave anyone behind in case they go back and find them gone. Suddenly, I feel gentle soul in my mind. Wow, this is so different to Alistair. As though my very being or life is all caught up in a quiet, gentle, I am not sure how to describe it. I sit, holding my head. I am not in pain. In fact, it is wonderful. I could get used to this very easily. Oh, suddenly it is gone, and I hear Gentle Soul apologizing, saying that she assumed that Alistair and I had a deep connection. I also assumed that. Where is he? He is not connecting to my mind. The 2 women who are still here and their children come over to check that I am okay. Gentle Soul told me that she thinks my idea is very clever and that she will take care of it. She says that I should go through because Alistair is frantic, even though she told him that I am okay. I wave goodbye to the 2 women and children and jump through the wind tunnel. Frantic was an understatement. Alistair and I agree to stay connected to Gentle Soul's thoughts for the moment and have a chat about everything else later. We might be able to help. The rest of the colony are arriving there, following the footprints in the dirt. Gentle Soul speaks to all of their thoughts simultaneously. She lets them know that the wind tunnel they are about to enter does not go to the same place as the people they are pursuing. Gentle Soul shows them all a picture in their minds where it leads, and lets them know that it is a small island with no inhabitants. Remarkably, every one of them hears, sees, and understands. But the 2 angriest of them dismiss it, deciding that it is lies. They seem to have great capacity to communicate with Gentle Soul in their minds, a bit like Alistair and me. Gentle Soul can see who wants to go through and who wants to stay. Most of them just want to go home. She lets them all know that this is their choice, but the two angriest men, who seem to think they are in charge, force everyone else to go through, then get their grenades ready and follow behind. What are they thinking? They want to blow everything up wherever they are going to make sure the big people die, along with those who chose to leave their colony. I see pictures of multiple explosions in their mind. This is ludicrous. They step out into the most beautiful place I have ever seen. They see beautiful flowers, plants, trees, and bushes full of their favourite berries. As they turn around, they see waterfalls and rock pools behind them. They are all thinking that this is paradise. The exit wind tunnel dissipates, being deliberately put on an area of loose soil that Gentle Soul thought she could move with her mind. The two angry men realize that there are no more footprints to follow. They look around, trying to work out where they are, desperately wanting to blow up big people and those who left their colony. They find no one else in that area at all. They all wander around looking at everything, and many of them seem to be changing their minds. They see places that are already sheltered, and they would not have to do much to make them their homes. They look around and see what they could easily use to make them waterproof for when it rains, and each of them spread out to choose the area in which they would like to live. Most of them are thinking that they have found paradise. I think they're right. Some of them have already decided on the area they could all spend the night, a large sheltered area that could eventually be the communal food preparation area. They have just got here and are already making it their own. I can see in their thoughts that they have often had to suddenly withdraw from wherever they were living and acclimate to a new environment. They are used to it. So many new acclimatisations, never in one place more than about 10 months. Many of them are hoping that they really are the only people there, and that it really is an island. They have hoped for a permanent home, and now they think they have found it. The older woman is wondering what to do about the mischief and the removal of wing buds. She is thinking that the reason for their removal would no longer be valid living here, if there really are no big people around. Gentle Soul keeps in contact with them all. Most want to stay now, but just want to retrieve their belongings first. So she is prepared to open the wind tunnels for them. She also offers to send their belongings to them with the help of the two women still in the area and their children. She will wait until everyone has made their final decisions. They all eventually get together and talk about it. The two angry men have calmed down considerably, and most of the others are ignoring anything that they say. It has been decided. Everyone besides those two men are going to stay. The two men want to go back, but they are thinking that they will steal everyone's belongings, then go to find the others who left. They plan to push them through the portal and then come through themselves. To punish them. Their planned punishment is death by grenade explosions. No! Little people like me. Tormentors. I can hardly believe it. Gentle Soul decides to send their belongings to them first. Good idea. Another wind tunnel appears, a small one this time, and all their belongings from the area they left behind come through. Their belongings are pushed further and further across the ground as more things appear, ending with human food, seeds, and some small seedlings. The only things not there are the two men's belongings. Well, the two men quickly change their minds, deciding they will rule this whole land. I think that no one will listen to them. I see their belongings arrive, and the wind tunnel is gone. Their explosion ideas have been halted for the time being, and now they are arguing over who will be king of paradise. I doubt anyone will listen to them after their ridiculous behaviour. No point being a self-appointed king over nothing and no one. They are all still in awe that such a beautiful place even exists. There is an abundance of everything they would ever need, with the exception of, well, there are no people to torment. Alistair holds his hand out to me as though he's going to shake mine. He often does that when he thinks that I've done something good or clever. He thinks it's hilarious. He is waiting for it. There it is. Someone always comments on how it's impossible for us to shake hands, which always makes him laugh hysterically. I see the picture in his mind of his hand shaking with me dangling on the end. It was amusing the first few times, but after so many times, no, I do not think so. But he still likes it. Alistair and I have a long thought conversation because, frankly, there is no time to have a spoken conversation. I promise him that I will never suddenly disappear without explanation again, and he promises only deep thought connections with me, now that we know that it is safe. We decide to wait until everyone is settled before our first deep connection. We all enter the big house. Wow! I think this is what is known as a mansion. Everyone is working out where we can all sleep for the night. I go to the attic to introduce myself and make some new friends. I sense Alistair watching my thoughts. He thinks of all these people as his new little buddies. I am surprised. There are far more than I originally thought. I could easily be good friends with these people. I count 14 adults and 11 children. They seem to treat Shaylin as though she is in charge, and she does her best to make sure everyone has somewhere comfortable to sleep. It is much easier than she expected, with all the things provided for them by the larger people. I like Shaylin a lot. What a lovely person. I hope they will all be happy here with us. I look at the youngest child, and Shaylin lets me know that she is not sure what to do about the child's back, now that their doctor is not with them. I know that she is referring to the older woman. I remember what the older woman was thinking.
There is not much point to removing the baby's wind buds now. The whole reason for removing them would not exist if we stayed here. I recall when some of us were taken by those big people. The only reason they could find us was because of the multifaceted reflections of our wings. It was deemed necessary for our survival to remove them, although I remember the controversy on the subject. Our nexus split into 3 separate colonies. Those who could hide their wings easily, those who chose to keep their wings and be more careful, and those of us who decided to remove our wings and therefore be safe. Our wings were of little importance, being thought of as more of a decoration than useful. The skill of flight seemed lost in time. No one could remember how to achieve flight, and many of us thought that maybe we were never able to fly.
Eventually, all is quiet, and I lay in my snuggly hammock on Alistair's chest. Suddenly, I feel Alistair deep in my mind. Wow, this is so different to the usual shallow connection we have. It is as though my very being or the entirety of who I am is all caught up in who he is. I lay holding my head. I am not in pain. In fact, it is wonderful.
Thank you so much for joining us with a cuppa. We appreciate your company.